You need to continually learn new tactics and strategies as you're continuing to develop as a leader. So no matter if you're a director, VP, or an executive at a small, mid, or large company, you always need to put an emphasis on continually developing yourself. The more value you put in yourself, the more value you're able to give the marketplace and your team, which is the only true reason of effective leadership, right? Is to make success easy for our team. But if we don't know how to do that, it makes it very difficult. Then we get into toxic work environments. So in this video, I'm gonna provide effective strategies that I've learned the hard way, of course, over the years on how to make success easy for you and your team. And if you don't know me, my name is Tim Madden. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Executive Career Upgrades. Here at Executive Career Upgrades, we specialize in all things career, including leadership and development. So I'm really excited to bring this topic to you today. Hey, if you're looking to be a more effective leader or maybe learn some new tactics and strategies here and there, do me a favor, smash that subscribe button somewhere below and let's get started. Number one, when we're just talking about rules of leadership. In business, we want to duplicate ourselves. The faster we can duplicate ourselves, the faster we're gonna move up the corporate ladder if that's what our aspirations are, right? And I'm not necessarily talking about just delegation. I'm talking about delegation, development, SOPs, lots of different things. So the first tip I really have for you is I have to be an exceptional leader and invest in myself, and I have to make sure I'm continually developing myself so that I can develop that next manager. Most people are never able to move on to that next level because they're not able to develop great managers to kind of take their spot. Ultimately, being an effective manager, no matter what we're doing, means that the team is not reliant on me. What I learned from one of my mentors is there is me, we, and us when we talk about leadership. Me meaning me leadership. Hey, before I do anything, I gotta be able to make sure what's in my space right now that I can manage that effectively. After we have me leadership, I can hold myself accountable, do what I need to do. Then we have we leadership. Essentially, can I take what I did and start to duplicate that into my team? And number three is the us leadership. That's essentially where you want to get to, because that just means, hey, the business department is independent of itself. Everyone's holding everyone accountable. Everyone's on the same page. The culture's excellent. And that's the leader of department that you want to be, right? When it's running seamlessly, that's when you have that high performing culture. But a lot of people, right? So let's go back to kind of my number one rule. I have to be effective at managing myself before I can start developing other people. So I cannot show up late. I cannot not invest in myself. I cannot not hit timelines. So number one of a leader is be the example for others. You're not gonna be able to get far in leadership if you don't have yourself straight. Number two, we as leaders has to develop what works before our team makes it work. Does that make sense? Now, of course, we want to give people responsibilities and different projects, etc. But ultimately, we are responsible for the success of projects if it's happening on our team. So we can delegate responsibility, but essentially, hey, it's my job making sure everything's running properly before I can just expect the team to do everything for me. This is the problem of lots of leaders. They don't want to get too involved. They just want to say things. There want to be errors, right? And then they're just going to blame their team. That's not what an effective leader does. So remember, before I can expect the team to make everything work, all of the different SOPs, projects, how they handle clients, hey, I first need to be involved to make sure it's working. Number three, you have to understand what's required for the target to be met and how the team can win. What does winning look like? So many people are not clear and upfront on their expectations of people. And this is where, you go down a nasty roller coaster. So you have to be able to explain to the team, hey, what is the target this month? Here's how it's going to be met. I'll give you an example of sales. Hey, team, if we have to field 1,000 calls this month, if we filled 1,000 calls, I know that our close rate is this percent, the average ticket price is this percent, and then we will hit this. So you need to visually show this, as well as speaking to your team and showing them, hey, what does it take to do $1 million in a month, $10 million in a month, if we're talking about sales, right? How many calls do we have to field? Okay, if you're on an assembly line, how many workers do we need? How many packages need to go out every single day so that we hit our monthly target? Most people try to achieve targets and they simply don't break them down. They just give some random number. Hey, this month we're gonna do $500,000. hey, I need everyone to give it their all. Yeah, good luck, let's go get after it. You have to use data and analytics to help you achieve this. Because if you've been following my videos, the more your team can visually see what needs to happen, the more successful they're gonna be at achieving their target. And this is your responsibility. So again, it's your responsibility to show the team exactly what they need to do so that the targets can be met and how they can win. Number 5, you must commit to a growth plan. You have to continually get better every single day. Commit to reading 10 pages of a book. Watch a leadership video on YouTube of the great Simon Sinek or Jocko Willink or, hey, Tim Madden, you're doing that right now. But you need to make a claim and say, I am committing to a growth plan. Everyone thinks that they just magically get better over time. I wish that's the way life worked. It just doesn't work for me that way. I know I have to put in work to achieve a result. So if you want to continually be an effective leader, you have to invest time and resources so that you can learn new tactics and strategy and hone in and improve the tactics and strategies you're already using. And lastly, you have to become unreasonable. I'm sorry, yes, you heard me correctly. You have to be unreasonable. Being a leader means you have to push people to be better. You have to push people to be their greatest selves. And if you're not able to do that, you're never gonna approach that us style of that leadership philosophy where it's really easy for your team. Now, being unreasonable means sometimes having uncomfortable conversations about expectations. Hey, welcome to leadership. Get used to it. You know, for the longest time as I was a young entrepreneur, you know, I wouldn't want to let people go. I was always like, man, you know, I have to let this person go or whatever. Now, it's not even about I like letting people go or I don't. It's, hey, we have standards here. These are the standards. If you meet the standards, we're good and we're gonna have a great time and we're gonna beat out our competitors and we're gonna make good money and we're gonna impact people's lives. And if you do not adhere by this, hey, hit the road. You can't roll with us. So you have to be unreasonable with some of your expectations because there was a recent study, I think Harvard did it. They asked hiring managers, hey, when you know you need to let someone go, what percentage of the time do you actually do it? You wanna hear this? Only 3% of people said, you know what? When I finally feel we need to let someone go, I do it immediately. 97% of people said, hey, I normally keep people around longer than I should. So what are your expectations? You have to convey these to the team. And sometimes you might have to be a little unreasonable. Hey, these are just some tactics and strategies I learned the hard way throughout the years. Just want to recap them for you. You're responsible for being a great leader before you can develop other great leaders. We have to develop what works before our team can just magically make it work. We have to truly understand what is required as specifically as possible for the target to be met and deliver that to the team. We have to commit to a growth plan and we have to become unreasonable. Hey, maybe this isn't for you, but if you're watching this channel, I know that you probably have aspirations of one day to be the big director, VP, or an executive of the organization, and I know you can do it. Leadership is not mysterious. It's gaining information, applying it, and continually getting better. So congratulations today on getting 1% better. Hey, to stay connected for more advice on leadership tactics and strategies, do me a favor, smash that button below, and I'll see you in the next video.